So, your teacher or professor wants you to support your argument in a paper with some credible sources. What the fuck does that mean? Don't worry, we can help. Think of credible as the same thing as believable. A credible source is a source you know you can believe. But how do you know what to believe? The internet's full of people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's not that information is either reliable or unreliable. Think of reliability of info as on a scale. Information can range from super unreliable, so think like clickbait, like BuzzFeed, or a conspiracy theory website, or it could be super freaking reliable, like, whatever's on NASA's website, probably. Anyway, so you managed to turn on your computer today, so you're probably not an idiot. You probably already knew not to use BuzzFeed as a source in your paper. Hopefully. So you need help with the trickiest thing, and that's avoiding sources that seem legit when they're not legit enough. So just because you found some information on a website of a legit company like Google, Wikipedia, or the Huffington Post doesn't mean that all the information on there is reliable. The main idea is if you're arguing your point of view in a paper, you want to make sure that the sources you cite to support your arguments aren't hot garbage, or worse, stuff that looks legit but is actually just Febrezed hot garbage. Just know a good citation from a teacher's perspective can make you seem like a badass who knows exactly what they're talking about, or it can make it seem like you turned in your paper, but you barfed on it first. Speaking of barf, that's short for the 4 things you need to think about before you decide to use a source in something you write. Number 1, B is for bias. Is it biased or is it not? Does the writer sound pretty neutral, or can you tell how they're feeling based on what they're writing? Does it seem like the website is trying to convince people to their point of view? And why does this article even exist? Was it written for science, for fun, to sell you something? Was it just written for a page click? Think about those things. Number 2, A is for author. Who is the person that wrote this thing? Can you find their name? Also, who's responsible for this text existing on the internet? Just that author, or do they have a sponsor, some other organization? What do you know about this author? Who are they? Does the text say what they do for work next to their name or at the end of the article? Are they just some random blogger? Are they a journalist? Or did they study the topic you're trying to write about? Probably want to go with that guy. And how is this person qualified to talk about this topic? Are they referencing research that supports their argument? Do they have a degree? Did they go to school for what the area that they're talking about? Or are they just talking out of their ass? Think about all those things concerning the author. All right. So number 3, R is for recent. Is the information new or is it outdated? When was this shit published? Shoot for the past 10 years. And this depends on what your teacher or professor wants. If they want a newer article in your citations, find out. Find out how old the article can be that you use in your sources. Number 4, F is for fact. Is the information fact or opinion? Where does their information come from? Did the person writing this thing do some research? And if they didn't do research, does the article support their arguments with research or other credible sources? Or is it just what a random person thinks? Or is it worse, like a random person referencing another random person who's referencing another random person? So, and also, FYI, just because you agree with them or because you think that whatever the article says makes sense, doesn't make it a fact. Shocker. Anyway, so before you barf on your paper and turn it in, run your sources through the barf test to make sure they're legit.